short live, I believe. But I wanted to come on here because I'm figuring they're doing their best to try and take me down with their stupid weapons, those directed energy weapons. And now Thomas is sending me all this weird shit. Like, I'm going to sell him anything that I do. And it's bullshit, but I figure that's how Thomas has stolen other people's music. Because if you go onto YouTube, there's all kinds of people who are complaining that he has stolen their royalties, he has stolen their music. And so now he's like, oh, if you sell me your stories, then you have to sign an NDA and you can't say anything. Uh huh. I have absolutely zero intention of ever selling him anything or anyone he knows or really anybody. No one has come forward. But Thomas, you want to buy my shit? $1.5 million a word. Then I'll consider it. $1.5 million in cash per word. That's not fair to you? If not, go fuck yourself. Which is kind of redundant anyway. But I have no intention of selling him anything. Ever. And Johnny Dub is Lucien Greaves. Now they're talking about my brother Steven. The whole thing about it is that if they can't prove shit on my dad, oh my God, if they go look at Stephen Wesley Shurter, they're going to find out that he died in Ocean City, Maryland. And then 2 years later, some dude got caught with the biggest trove of satanic ritual abuse child porn that the people had ever seen. It actually hit national news. And so, and that was my brother's collection. They're trying to shut everything down. Tara Joy says, I couldn't be involved with child trafficking because I have been a full-time student. I have a couple questions for you, Tara. You're not independently wealthy, so how are you paying for school? And it's not like there aren't full-time students who work full-time jobs. It's not unheard of, you know? So to say that you can't be involved with all of this criminality because you were a full-time student, maybe if you were 18 years old, that would work. It doesn't work now, you know? And I know there ain't no 18 people in this room. So they're just filling my channel with bots. But it's okay because I'll just post this onto my blog. They can't do shit about my blog, and it's getting a lot of hits, which is why they're doing their crap in the way they're doing it. Because they realize that the cat is out of the bag and there's no putting that cat back in that bag. People already are aware, and they know, and they should know. And so therefore, but I'm not selling Thomas anything. And he sent it from his own email. So now he's someone completely different on his email. The dude needs a welfare check and he needs to be held for 72 hours. Well, he needs to be incarcerated. He needs to be put in jail for the rest of his life. They all do. But the dude is mental. You know, he is mental. And he and Johnny Dub are playing these games. And now they're trying to backtrack on this whole thing of they bragged that they introduced Isaac Cappy to Nathan Stoltman. But now this morning, I just got emails from Johnny Dub. It's 11 o'clock now. And I've already gotten emails from him. Yesterday, I didn't even answer. If you go look at the link that I posted in there, you can see I didn't answer any of those. You know, I didn't answer any of those. I answered a couple emails But for the most part, there's no emails at all on that I answered. I just let him email me. So when you see 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 emails, that's them. That's Johnny Dub, aka Doug Masico, aka Doug Mesner, aka Brian Word, aka Johnny Killrush, aka Lucien Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. They're all working together. And they're obviously working with my stepmother. Shit, yesterday I was talking to someone on the phone and they were dumb enough to actually tell me, well, I know you can cook because I've seen pictures of your kitchen. How the fuck did you see pictures of my kitchen? You know? That's the interesting part. You know? They can't help but expose themselves. And their shit's coming out. Their shit's coming out. And there's nothing that they can do. I will never sign my shit over to anyone. I played that game with Ron Patton. Ron Patton was working with this occultist. Sid Seymour, maybe, is his name. But they sent me this, they wanted to publish some stuff on my blog and do it in a book form. So they sent me this contract to sign, not realizing that the people who helped me publish my book, I would forward it to them to just let them look at it. And I got a call immediately after saying, don't sign that. And I said, what is, because I didn't even really read it. And I was told, oh no, this gives them all the rights to anything you've written or videos that you've done, and all the rights to anything you do in the future. That's the contract they sent it to me. So now Thomas is just trying to actually go under the law to try and do it. I'm not signing over shit. They don't have access to my stuff. They don't have any rights to anything, any media, my blog, my book, my videos, nothing. And they never will. Not if I can help it. Shit, now if they fucking kill me and then tell everybody, I don't think anyone's going to. Isaac Cappy said he wasn't suicidal, and the day after he said he wasn't suicidal, and if anything happened to him, he didn't do it himself, and the next day, he was dead. So we can see how well all that works, you know? Because what has come of it? Not a damn thing. A lot of people being entertained, talking about gossip. Other than that, I don't see any kind of justice that ever happened with it. Not at all. I'm not signing over shit to that freak. The child traffickers are just out of control. Michael Aquino, Gabe Hoffman, Thomas Schoenberger, Lucien Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. Pick a fucking name, because God knows he has a zillion of them. Head of the founder of the Satanic Temple, all working with my stepmother, Joanne C. Shurter, who was a child trafficker, hurting kids, was in league with my brother, Stephen, as well as my dad. She's an awful woman that needs to be arrested. Then you have all of Sewertown, Corey Daniel, a.k.a. Phoenix Enigma, and Alicia Ray, a.k.a. the Sicilian Witch, and Jesse Davis, and Daniel Dowd, a.k.a. American Witchcraft, a.k.a. Booty Twang, a.k.a. who knows, he just comes up with different names. Geo Farnsworth, Tara Joyce, the full-time student. But how the fuck did you pay for school? And it's not like going to school full-time. You can't work a job full-time. It's not like you can't be both. You're not 18 years old. You're not being supported by mom and dad. Living at the dorms. Just saying. Manuel Chavez. Same people. Same group. It's always the same names. Ron Patton is involved. His whole group in Olympia. His little dude in Portland, Oregon. All occultists, all involved. The occultism the big part. The fact that they're Nazis, that's the big part. That's what joins them all. They can call themselves whatever the hell they want. But, you know, so, but I'm not selling shit to Thomas Schoenberger. And if he says I did, he's a liar. But then he's a liar anyway. Johnny Dubb, a.k.a. Brian Word, a.k.a. Lucien Greaves, liar. Self-admitted liar. Brag about being liars. And then want everyone to take every frickin' thing they say as gospel. It's bullshit. They're child traffickers. And if you're okay with child traffickers, all I have to say is enjoy the dark. If you don't feel compelled to actually stand up and do something to try and stop it, enjoy the dark. You want to be saved, and you think Jesus Christ is going to save you, but you're not willing to lend even a fingernail to help save anybody else, let alone a bunch of kids. You reap what you sow. Flat the fuck out. And if you haven't sown it, you don't reap it. Plant sawdust and expect a money tree. You know? And they're all in here calling me names. Just because they think that's actually going to work. They need to be investigated. They need to be arrested, and they need to be incarcerated. And it doesn't make any difference what bullshit, like, you know, Tara Joyce can say whatever she wants, but boy, she's on Sewer Town. She was one of the biggest ones heralding how I should lose my disability when Social Security told me there had been a myriad amount of attacks at identity theft regarding my Social Security. But she had time to be on fucking Sewer Town. She has time to make all kinds of videos, posts, all kinds of shit. But she doesn't have time to be into criminality because she's a full-time student. Anyone who believes that is as stupid as people believing that Thomas is just a simple little musician. Of course, he was composing when he was 3, and he's fucking surpassed Mozart 20 years ago, and he has 1,000 IQ. It is ridiculous dealing with these assholes. It's ridiculous. Michael Aquino, Thomas Schoenberger, Gabe Hoffman, Lucien Greaves, a.k.a. Doug Mesner, a.k.a. Doug Masico, a.k.a. Johnny Dubb, a.k.a. Brian Word, a.k.a. John Kilrush, whatever, founder of the Satanic Temple. Sewer Town, Corey Daniel, Alicia Ray, Jesse Davis, Tara Joyce, Daniel Dowd, Gio Farnsworth, Manny Chavez. Who gives a fuck if you've heard of them or not? Doesn't mean they don't exist. Do you know everybody in the world? And I get irritated when I have to do these videos. Otherwise, I try not to think about any of these people. You know? I don't try to think about any of them. I go out of my way to avoid them. Avoid thinking about them, even though they won't stop with the emails. You know? And so, it's just interesting how, you know, and they're all in here. There's not 29 people in here, you know. Yeah, you can find all kinds of stuff about Michael Aquino. But they want it spoon-fed to them. And if they don't know who it is, well, then they obviously don't exist, you know. How can you fight with such ignorance? I don't believe he's dead. everything that you can read about Michael Aquino, what would ever give you the impression that he would self-destruct? Not the type. If he did self-destruct, he'd take as many people along with him as he possibly could. And that didn't happen. That's the kind of person Michael Aquino is. He wouldn't just go crawl under a rock by himself. This child trafficking crap is bullshit. It needs to be investigated. It needs to be looked at. The group that I have been dealing with, they're the ones who murdered Isaac Cappy. They're the ones who blew up the Erling, Iowa gas station. They're the ones who have, they post videos of my house burning down and me being lynched and paying people to break into my house and steal shit that they brag about later on, online. Pass out flyers, falsely calling me a pedophile, doxing me with my address and my picture, trying to send people to my house to hurt me. That's this group. And then people wonder why I get irritated when I talk about this. Anybody else who would go through this would have something to say about it. It's what I think. I certainly have something to say about it. I'm not just going to take it quietly, you know? The group that I'm talking about. You can go look at the videos. It's not like the video that Daniel Dowd said, everyone is a predator. He's the internet's favorite predator, but everyone is a predator. If you eat mashed potatoes, that's predatory. That's what he said. You can go find the video. It's a short on my blog. You can see the videos of them posting my house burning down. You can see where they post the video where they're showing me being lynched. You can see the flyers that they passed all over town. That's in the video as well. Go to my blog, davidshurter.com. Isn't like all the stuff isn't there. It's been a nightmare dealing with these people. A nightmare. There's not 26 people in here. I'm sure when I get off of here, I'll have 1,000 views. They're all bots. They're all bots. Now it's 31. Keep coming, motherfuckers. Come on. Let's reach 600. Let's reach 1,000. Pay for the bots. Put your money where your mouth is. Put 1,000 bots in here. Antifa is not even a group. If you're afraid of Antifa, then you're an idiot. Antifa, anti-fascist. That's what Antifa is. Anti-fascist. If you're not anti-fascist, then you're on the wrong side. Anyway, I'm not going to stay on here because it's full of fucking dumbasses. John DeCamp is a piece of shit. He was a bad guy. He was having sex with his little adopted kids. He was the one who put Alicia Owen in, helped put Alicia Owen with John Pankinen, Nebraska State Patrolman cold case. You know? Magic Mama, I can't tell you what a bot is. It's a computer generated thing. I don't understand the purpose. I'm just not into the whole social media warfare. But they are. Because they don't want their child trafficking. They can add whatever they want. They can't do anything to my blog. And I just post all of the stuff to my blog. Exposing the child traffickers. The ones who murdered Isaac Cappy. And obviously, now, Johnny Dubb, a.k.a. Lucien Greaves, and Thomas Schoenberger are worried about the connection between them and Isaac and Nathan Stoltman, judging by the shit they're sending me this morning. You know? You realize that conspiracy theory came from the CIA anybody who was questioning JFK's assassination. You know? Bots' purpose are to keep division going by commenting stupid shit to piss off one or both sides. Thank you. Thank you. No, I do not believe in Bigfoot. I think it's stupid. Do I believe in these child traffickers? Yeah, because I've had to deal with them. Do I, you know, this child trafficking, look at what they're doing with Jeffrey Epstein. The, the files ever been released yet? You know? And now, if they get released, you're not going to be able to trust anything. They're going to be bullshit. That's how it's going to work. I'm not selling the rights of anything. Yeah, thank you, Brody. It was helpful. I'm not selling anything. Not the rights to my books, not the rights to my videos, not the rights to my blog, nothing. Ever. Never going to do it. I'm certainly not going to sign an NDA. Yeah, they want to keep me quiet because they want to protect their child trafficking operation. I have no intention of staying quiet. And I'm not going to sign anything. Not a damn thing. But this is how I bet Thomas Schoenberger steals people's music and royalties. He's just trying to play the same thing. But dude, I know who you are. I've already heard about your games. And I've only had to deal with you for the last 2 years. Shit, the dude and his little Lucien Greaves, Johnny Dub, can email me 30 to 50 times a day. It is obsessive. But it's because they're trying to hide their child trafficking operation. And they think all of their crazy shit, all this stupid shit they say, and all this stupid shit they do is a reflection on me. Well, how the hell is it a reflection on me? I can't control any of it. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Not at all. And Thomas will say, oh, well, you're emailing me. Dude, for the last couple days, I haven't hardly emailed you at all, and you just keep emailing me one after the other, after the other, after the other. Now you're this Pedersen idiot. Why don't you just call yourself a pedophile? At least be honest. But now he's a publisher with a different name. Same email account. But he needs a welfare check and a 72-hour hold. It needs to be longer than 72 hours. He needs to be incarcerated is what it is. You know? Well, you don't have to like my hair. I don't care. I don't care. God has no mercy for child killers. It is better to tie no, I'm having a brain fart. Throw yourself in the ocean and drown yourself. That's what God says about people who hurt children. If you guys all want to find love and compassion and forgiveness for a bunch of goddamn child killers so they can keep hurting kids, go for it. I'm not on board with that at all. At all. And if I have to deal with God in the end, then I have to deal with them. Because, they'll take your compassion, they'll take your mercy, and then they'll fuck your kids and laugh at you for being stupid. That's what this group is like. And they like to use God. Tom is telling me, he's not in good with Jesus. Dude, you're a child trafficker who works with Michael Aquino. You know, we will all have to deal with God in the end. Yes, we will. And there's going to be accountability. People seem to think they can just do whatever the hell they want. And God is obligated to forgive us. I'm not quite sure where they got that idea. We are to serve God. God does not serve us. I know that is mind-blowing to a lot of people. They think that Jesus Christ is their fairy godmother or a genie. You know, we are to serve God, which means we have to stand against evil. And this shit, this group that I grew up with, you can go read my book, Rabbit Hole. I don't have a copy right here, but you can go type my name in, Amazon, Rabbit Hole, read all about the child trafficking, satanic ritual abuse bullshit I grew up with in Omaha. You know, you can go read it. I published it in 2012. I'm not new at this. I've been at this for a long, long time. And I'm not going to quit. I don't see any reason to quit. And I'm certainly not going to sign my shit over. Unless they give me a really good deal. Thomas wants to give me $1.5 million for every word I write. I might consider it. I know it'll never happen. But I ain't signing shit over to anybody. At all. Ever. Never. So I'm at 27 minutes. I think I'm going to pray and get off here because I really go. I just got out of the shower. That's why my hair is wet, dumbass. You know? Ask your question. If you're one of them, And yes, I took a shower today. I take several showers a day, especially in the wintertime. No better way to warm up. But this child trafficking group needs to be investigated. It needs to be stopped. And their games and all of the bullshit that they use to discombobulate and distract people from, some of you are too smart for that. I'm not saying the majority are, because I know better. But I know that there are people out there who are smarter than that. And they can see what is happening. The elites look at all of us as eaters and breeders. That's what my parents' friends called it. All of us. Eaters and breeders. And we're cattle. They could give a shit less. When you have so much money that you can buy the world over and over and over and over for the rest of your life, you lead a very boring life. And so therefore, they get into stupid, nasty shit to entertain themselves. And that's how it works. Boredom. That's the problem with the elites, is that they're bored. There's no thrill to anything in their lives. They're the most miserable group of people you've ever seen. The only time that they're happy is when they're fucking everybody else over, so that they can be as miserable as they are. That's what I grew up with. My parents' friends were just miserable. Miserable. All they ever talked about is themselves and what they owned and what they were going to own and what they wanted to own and what they wanted to buy. And they work in their own little group, you know? And so You know, the problem with FEMA is that people are losing their fucking houses, and now there's nothing, there's no support. You get a flood, there's no more FEMA, there's no FEMA money. The house takes your house away, you're on your own. You better have enough money for a hotel and food and to support yourself after you've lost everything. If not, the rich people, they'll just go move to another house, another one of their houses, or get on their boat that has a boat that has a boat. You know, it's the little guys that are getting crushed. We have a group of people in the world who have an insatiable black hole of want. They want it all. And when you give it to them, they just put it away. They don't spend it. Anyway, I'm going to pray and get off here. Some of you are okay, but others are just, they're bots. The problem is that they can't come in here and swear and all of that because I have filters on it. I wish I had more of a filter. When I get irritated on here, in real life, people who see me and know me in real life are like, you never swear. And I don't swear in real life. But when I'm on here, talking about all of this nasty crap and these awful people, it has a tendency to just irritate me. Because I've been at this for decades. I've been at it for decades. And it's great that I've woken people up. That would be great if I lived my life aspiring to be a frickin' alarm clock. But it's not enough to wake people up. I don't care if people are awake. If they're awake and they're not doing anything, then they're just simply watching television. They're just being entertained by it. Considering that kids are getting hurt, that's not a good thing as far as I'm concerned. That's just me. Anyway, heaven, we come to you. I come to you. We are to serve you. And I am trying my best, even though my heart is not filled with love today. I am irritated with this whole mess. And it's always a game. Every time I turn around, it's one more game and another game and another game. And it's all games nobody wants to play. Just so that they can hide their child trafficking. I am begging you, bring them to their frickin' knees. Make them cower. That's what I'm asking. Use whatever powers are at your disposal and do it publicly so everyone can see. That's what I want. Not that you're a genie, not that you're a fairy godmother, but you are loving. And I know that heaven finds this group to be as big of an abomination as everyone else does. They need you to tie the albatrosses around their neck and drown them in the ocean. Or wherever you wish to deal, however way you wish to deal with them. It's just that I am not alone when I ask that they be dealt with. And harshly. You know? And that's probably not a great thing to be in prayer, but that's what Psalms was all about. So it's not like I'm the first person who has served you that has asked for the evildoers to be brought down. You know? That's what Psalms is all about. So I say these things in your Son's name, whose word is infallible. he came and taught us about the word, and his teachings are infallible, and I am grateful for that. So many souls have been saved because you sending your son down, and I'm grateful. And I say these things lovingly in your son's name, our brother, Jesus Christ. Amen. Satanic Temple. Add Satanic Temple to that. They're using that Satanic Temple after school daycare program to actually target the kids. So it's not just all of these, the Freemasons, Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove, all of those are like almost ethereal. They're almost not real to people. Satanic Temple after school daycare. That's how they're targeting the kids right now. They're using that Satanic Temple after school daycare. That's the one that I'm focused on. I'm sure that Temple of Set is doing shit too. It is Michael Aquino's brainchild after all. You know? Michael Aquino is a bad dude, and I don't believe he's dead. I don't believe he's dead at all. I believe he's hiding. You want to go out? Okay. Oh, thank you for those kisses. I know you want to go out. Well, as you can see, I'm being beckoned. You is spoiled. You is spoiled. All right. Okay, well, the last live I did yesterday, they started off threatening my dogs. They'll do anything they can to shut me up and shut me down. And have tried over and over and over and over and over. I'm not stopping. I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. I'm just not going to do it. And so, again, that list, if anybody is interested, of the people that I've had personal experience with and personal actions with. Michael Aquino, Gabe Hoffman, Thomas Schoenberger, Lucien Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, Corey Daniel, Alicia Ray, aka the Sicilian Witch, Jesse Davis, Manny Chavez, which is aka DeFango, Daniel Dowd, Gio Farnsworth, dumbasses who came in and murdered my friend Owen and then posted videos showing that they were in my town at the time that they murdered my friend. Tara Joyce, Craig Sawyer, my stepmother, Joanne C. Shurter, Sherilyn Schluchta, my old moderator, who can say whatever the hell she wants. But let me just point out, the 3 times that we went to lunch, I paid for twice, 2 of them. I also bought all the material and made a quilt for her grandmother. And I was just about ready to give her a bag. So her acting like she's a victim, when she was trying to set me up, she was going to give me those THC cartridges, and they were going to put me in jail. That's why she kept calling them felonies. I'm going to give you 2 felonies. I'm going to give you... That's how she referred it to as. You know? I'm not feeling sorry for any of them. If you guys want to find compassion and love and forgiveness for these fucking child killers, be my guest. But I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. I'm just not jumping on that bandwagon. And if you don't like it, tough shit. I don't see you asking my permission for what you're doing. Therefore, I don't need anybody else's. If you don't need my permission to do what you want to do, then I don't need your permission to do what I'm going to do. That's how it works. But I need to get off here. This has just been an irritating. It's been irritating this morning. And God only knows how many emails. At least one. No, I have another one in here. I got to get off here. I'm being beckoned. Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. I prayed. I apologize for being irritated with this whole situation, but it gets to be just too much. I'm not selling the rights to anything. Not my blog, not my book, not my videos, nothing. Everything that I produce is mine. And I'm not signing it over to anyone. It is a nativity scene. That's a nativity, and then I have 3 buildings that I got at a thrift store years ago that are buildings that would have been in Jesus Christ time. I leave my nativity scenes up year round. I like nativity scenes. So that and my clock, which didn't go off. I should actually see if the battery's low. We might need new batteries. It says Bible verses, and it didn't go off at 11 o'clock, and I've been on here for 2 hours. It should have gone off. So, with that said, these child traffickers need to be dealt with. Flat out, they need to be dealt with. I'm not saying anything I haven't been saying over and over and over for years. Nothing new. Nothing new. Same thing. And then people wonder why I get frustrated. But, come on. I mean, children are getting hurt. And I'm not here to wake people up. My life aspiration was not to be an alarm clock. If you're awake and you know about this situation, then I suggest you figure out some way to put a fire under your ass so you do something to stop it. What that is totally up to you. See, I know that you're being facetious, saying that the kids disappear and for all we know they could be in a McDonald's hamburger. But the sad part about it is yeah, that's why I don't eat McDonald's. I don't really eat fast food. With that said, have a great day, guys.